Have you ever had moments where you felt completely confident one day and completely lost the next? You wake up full of energy and drive and you're ready to make things happen. But halfway through the day, you start second guessing everything. Suddenly, what felt right this morning doesn't feel right anymore. Or maybe it's the opposite. You know what you want. You can see it clearly. You have the vision, the plan, maybe even the checklist. But every time you try to take a step forward, something inside you hesitates. Fear creeps in. Self-doubt whispers, what if I mess up? That's the battle between confidence and clarity. Confidence gives you motion. Clarity gives you direction. But when one is missing, life starts to feel off balance. Without clarity, confidence can push you fast in the wrong direction, leaving you exhausted and frustrated. Without confidence, clarity becomes a dream you can't seem to reach, a vision that always feels almost. And this is where most people get stuck. They keep thinking something's wrong with them when, in truth, they're just missing the harmony between the two energies that drive all progress: the courage to move and the wisdom to know where you're going. I've lived both sides of that struggle. Times when I was unstoppable but unfocused, and the times when I knew exactly what I wanted but couldn't seem to take the first step. Today I want to help you understand why both confidence and clarity are essential, how to strengthen each one, and more importantly, how to bring them together so you can move forward with purpose, power, and peace. Let's start with confidence. Most people think confidence means being fearless, that the people who walk tall and speak boldly just don't feel fear. But that's not confidence. That's an illusion. True confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move with it. It's built through evidence, the kind you create by showing up for yourself over and over again. Every time you face something uncomfortable and make it through, your subconscious records the proof, I can handle this. That's confidence, not bravado. It's self-trust born from experience. The problem is, our culture confuses confidence with performance. We measure it by how loud, fast, or flawless someone appears. But that's surface level confidence, and it's fragile. Because when the applause stops or the results don't come fast enough, it tends to crumble. Real confidence runs deeper. It's quiet. It's calm. It's the kind that doesn't need to prove anything because it already knows who it is. But here's where so many people, myself included, have gone wrong. Confidence without clarity feels powerful, but it's dangerous. You can be confident in something that isn't right for you. You can pour your energy into the wrong goals, the wrong relationships, the wrong identity, all while convincing yourself you're doing the right thing. And that's why clarity matters so much. Because confidence alone can keep you busy, but clarity makes sure your effort actually counts. Confidence is what gets you to take the step. Clarity makes sure it's in the right direction. There's a reason I talk so much about clarity. It's not just about knowing what you want. It's about seeing truth beyond illusion. Clarity isn't something you think your way into. It's something you remember your way back to. It's that moment when the fog of fear and conditioning lifts, and you realize the path you've been chasing wasn't even yours to begin with. For years, before I ever stepped into the work I do today, I was a professional singer. I spent my 20s chasing a dream that looked like success. I was recording albums, performing, talking with record labels, and at the time I thought, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do. But deep down, something never felt right. I couldn't explain it then, but every time a real opportunity came close, an audition, a contract, a door that could have changed everything, I sabotaged it. I'd always find a way to let it slip through my hands. And at the time, I thought it was fear of failure. But years later, after my awakening, I realized it wasn't fear at all. It was misalignment. My soul was resisting a path that didn't belong to me. See, I was chasing a dream that was never mine. It was built on what the world told me success should look like. The stage, the lights, the recognition. But when I began to awaken, I saw that all of it had been part of the matrix. The programmed idea that your worth comes from what you achieve, not who you become. When clarity hit, everything changed. I realized I wasn't meant to perform to be seen. I was meant to speak and help others. That's what clarity does. It liberates you from false desires and brings you back to your authentic direction. And when you find it, your confidence transforms. It's no longer about pushing, forcing, or proving. It becomes quiet, rooted, and deeply aligned. Because now your actions don't come from ego. They come from truth. You stop chasing and start creating. You stop striving and start flowing. Clarity doesn't just show you where to go. It reminds you why you're here. And that's when confidence becomes sacred, not an act of willpower, but an expression of divine alignment. Confidence and clarity are like two divine forces within you. Two energies that, when they come into harmony, awaken your full creative power. Confidence is the energy of movement. It's the masculine principle, the force that says, let's go, let's create, let's act. It's the spark that ignites transformation. Clarity is the energy of awareness, the feminine principle, the quiet voice that says, wait, listen, align. It's the wisdom that gives direction to your fire. When confidence moves without clarity, it burns too hot and becomes force, control, and ego. When clarity exists without confidence, it becomes too still, leading to hesitation, doubt, or overthinking. But when the two meet, something sacred happens. Action merges with awareness. Will merges with wisdom. Human merges with divinity. That's the balance that creates not just success, but soulful evolution. When I look back on my life, I can see how every misstep was a moment of imbalance. Times when my masculine energy was overactive, driving and striving without vision, or when my feminine energy was buried under fear, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But life is always inviting us into balance and union, because true creation happens when your fire and your flow move as one. Confidence says, I trust myself. Clarity says, I trust the path. Together they whisper, I trust the process. That's where inner peace begins, when you realize you don't have to choose between movement and stillness or ambition and alignment. You can be both, powerful and peaceful, directed and surrendered. That's the dance between confidence and clarity, the dance of creation itself. Let's bring this down to something practical, something you can begin applying right now. Confidence and clarity aren't abstract ideas. They're energies you live with every day. You feel them in your body, in your decisions, and in your emotions. Think of confidence as movement. It's that push that gets you to take the step, make the call, send the message, or finally do the thing you've been putting off. It's the part of you that says, let's go. Now, think of clarity as direction. It's the awareness that says, wait, is this step aligned with who I truly am? When you combine the two, movement and direction, your life begins to flow instead of fighting. Let's try something simple right now. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now ask yourself, where in my life am I moving without direction? And where am I waiting for direction but not moving? You don't need a perfect answer. Just notice what comes up. If you're someone who struggles with visualization, that's okay. You don't need to see anything. Just notice what you feel. A thought, a tension, a nudge. That's enough. Because awareness helps to gain clarity. And any movement of awareness gives you the power to choose differently. Now, take one more deep breath. And think of one action you can take today that combines both energies. Confidence to move and clarity to align. Maybe it's making a decision you've been avoiding. Maybe it's slowing down before rushing into the next thing. Maybe it's simply choosing to trust yourself a little more than you did yesterday. That's how balance begins, one aligned action at a time. So here's my challenge for you this week. Find one area of your life where you've been relying on confidence but missing clarity, or where you've had clarity but lacked the confidence to act. Then bring them together. Ask yourself, what's one step I can take today that's both aligned and courageous? It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be true. Because truth is where clarity lives, and action rooted in truth is what confidence really is. If you're ready to go deeper into this kind of alignment, where your confidence no longer runs on willpower, but on truth and awareness, I have two invitations for you. First, grab your free copy of my book, Fight Back. You'll find the link in the description. It's not just a book, it's a guide to breaking free from the mental and emotional programs that keep you stuck in the old matrix of fear and limitation, so you can live from power, presence, and peace. Second, if you're ready to integrate this work personally in your life, relationships, or business, book a free consultation with me. Together, we'll uncover where confidence and clarity are out of sync and realign you with your authentic power and purpose. You'll find that link in the description as well. But whether you grab the book, book the call, or simply take one small aligned step today, remember this. You don't need to chase confidence. You don't need to search for clarity. They're both already within you, waiting for you to lead them into harmony. And when you do, life stops feeling like a battle to survive and starts unfolding as a masterpiece as it was always meant to be. Lead from truth, act from love, and rise as the creator of your own life.